Calling to order the Public Infrastructure and Utilities Committee meeting. It is Wednesday, October 30th, 2024 at 3:32 p.m. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Vollmer,
Present.
Alderwoman Keys, Alderwoman Velazquez,
Present.
Vice Chair Browning,
Present.
Chair Schweitzer,
Present.
Alderwoman Keys. We have 4 present. We have a quorum.
Thank you. A quorum being present, we'll move on to the approval of the minutes. I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of Wednesday,
So moved.
October 23rd, 2024. It's been moved by the Alderman from the 5th, seconded by the Alderman from the 6th. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Vollmer,
Aye.
Alderwoman Keys, Alderwoman Velazquez,
Aye.
Vice Chair Browning,
Aye.
Chair Schweitzer,
Aye.
Alderwoman Keys. I have 4 aye votes.
Thank you. With that, you've sustained the motion of the Alderman from the 5th and approved the minutes of Wednesday, October 23rd, 2024. We will now move to board bills for review. Alderman Michael Browning does have some guests in the chambers for his bill, so we'll move to him first just to respect their time. Vice Chair Browning, you're recognized on board bill number 121.
Thank you, and thank you to the committee. And Board Bill 121 is really an administrative cleanup bill. There are parking districts that exist in the Forest Park Southeast neighborhood, which is part of the 9th Ward, and also where I live. And it is parking districts that exist to protect parking for residents, either from parking that is close to the Manchester Strip, where a lot of the bars and restaurants are, and busy weekend nights or even weeknights, it can overflow and residents need their parking protected there, or over on the north side of the neighborhood or the northwest side of the neighborhood, which is close to the Washington University and BJC Medical Complex. They charge about $90 a month to park there, which means that employees will often go park in our neighborhood in order to avoid that, and then residents can't find parking nearby their houses. So these 2 districts exist for those 2 purposes, to protect parking for residents. These are already existing districts. These are not new. There's nothing new in this bill. It is just simply taking all the different ordinances that have been passed over the several years and combining them into one with a uniform set of rules, so that we can make sure that we're making this easier to enforce, can find all the rules in one place. And the other last thing that we want to do with this is make sure that we can not have to change the ordinance when we want to change the rules. So we're going to make sure that it's according to the signage that exists, so that people can understand exactly what there is. And my assistant reminds me that there is one new district here, and that's just one on Old Highway, to protect parking for residents in anticipation of a new apartment complex that's going to go up there. So again, just kind of uniting everything under one bill. And we have the Treasurer's Office here, which has the parking division underneath it, should you have any questions about how these are administered.
Thank you so much. I would love to hear from them about the administration of the parking district, if they don't mind just coming up and speaking, and then we'll move to the committee for questions.
Sure thing.
Just out of an abundance of caution, if you wouldn't mind coming up, I'll swear you in really quickly. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Wonderful. If you could introduce yourself and make sure to speak into the mic. Thank you.
My name is Shirley Bruchick. It's Shirley. Last name is Rukcic.
So, Mr. Gray, if you don't mind just giving us some information about these parking districts and how the Treasurer's Office enforces them, and how you think this bill might help with that.
Sure. So once a parking district is established by ordinance, the parking division, so the residents can choose if they want somebody, I guess, in their neighborhood to administer the program. But we are able to administer it. In the past, we've only enforced the regulations. But this past year, we did invest in a digital permitting system. And so we did pilot the program in Alderman Browning's.
And this will make it possible to uniformly work through that process.
Absolutely. So a resident will go online, any of the addresses that are approved that are within the ordinance. The resident will go online, apply online, provide the documentation that's required. We do charge a fee. I believe it's $40 in this district. We do waive that fee for disabled, veterans, seniors, people on limited incomes. But yeah, everything happens online. So once
Great.
we approve the permit on the back end, it's like a digital permit, so they don't actually receive a hang tag.
Okay.
What happens is we have parking enforcement vehicles that are equipped with LPRs, license plate recognition systems. So that way one of our vehicles can just drive through, and if there is a car that does not have a permit, at that point we can get out and write a ticket.
Fascinating. And have you moved to that process for all of the parking districts or just as kind of,
So we've only worked with Alderman Browning in his
Okay, wow.
district, but we're more than willing. We have had other alder people reach out to us.
sure, because I don't have any in my ward, but other people really do. So I don't know
Yeah.
that you do.
I inherited one
Yeah.
during redistricting, which is the old way with signs and tags, and it's a matter of they're calling and no response ever to get things done. So if there's a way to administer this into because this is only a one block area where this is going, if there's a update to do this LPR way, that would be very helpful, because these people, they've gotten to the point where people are actually stealing the signs that says
Oh,
no
no.
parking because of,
So those signs will still need to be required.
yes.
But yeah, I mean, we're more than willing, whoever's.
So in other words, if there
administering
could be a program for existing, go back and log and try and create this LPR with the administrative people.
Yeah, I mean, you probably don't even need to do anything with your ordinance. I'm not sure, we could take a look and see what it says. But I know with Alderman Browning, there were some things.
Excuse me, could you speak into the mic?
Oh, sure. So I know with Alderman Browning, there were probably 6 or 7 different ordinances, and they were all basically the same thing, but referring to different roads, different streets. And we did update some of the language. There was some old language referring to like a traffic commissioner and who issues the permits, but it's actually our office with this system.
Okay. Well, thank you for that update. I think that's really helpful. Thank you, Mr. Williamson. Okay. Does anyone else on the committee have any questions for the treasurer's office? Yeah. Alderman Velasquez, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a quick question. Will your office be reviewing parking permits on a case-by-case basis, or this is, I guess, just asking, like, I know it sounds like Alderman Browning started this process, but I actually don't know how many ordinances for parking permits I have in my ward, but I assume I have some, just the signs
Okay.
in the ward. So I'm just curious if there's going to be any effort, or should there be an effort to kind of like streamline this? Like, should we be looking at all the different ones citywide? Sorry, Alderman Brown, I think you might have, looked under a rock, and there are all sorts of things we are finding.
So our office, we would definitely be more than willing to administer. Right now, we do enforce. So I guess this would make it also easier for us to enforce if everybody did the digital permitting.
Okay. All right, great.
A lot of times people will have a hang tag, not put it up. We'll write a ticket, they'll show the hang tag. But this would definitely streamline the process and make it a little easier on our office to enforce.
Great, thank you. That's all the questions I have.
That's helpful. I think it's good to know that the streamlining is, we have Alderman Vollmer has a
Just a
question.
question, are the hours that they go out and check the LPRs between 9 and 5 only, or are there evening people who go out? Because most of the violations occur in the, evening hours in my one
So
area.
our enforcement officers work till 10. I believe Alderman Browning did have some signs that were just 9 to 5.
Okay, so I just didn't know if there were
Signage.
enforcement officers out till 10 o'clock is what you're saying?
Till
Okay.
10 o'clock.
All right, thank you.
Interesting. So if you, I guess, Vice Chair Browning, I'm not sure everyone heard you watching just because of the microphone issue, but so if you have ones that end at 5, are they still ending at 5, or are you updating the process there too?
So if you look through the bill, you'll see that different districts have different rules. And that is due to whether they are close to the Manchester Strip where the businesses are, and if the problem is evening parking by customers for those businesses, or if they are closer to Washington University where the problem is really daytime parkers. So each district kind of has its own rules. And again, we wanted to kind of point to the signage in each of these situations to make sure, because after all, the person parking there is going to see the signage and
Right.
know the rule. But what we didn't want to have is outdated ordinances that all had different language, or some of these ordinances referred to having like a red tag or a blue tag, and those don't exist anymore. So we wanted to update the language to be current, and again, just kind of unify everything together. I also have one question for our treasurer's office as well, just to get it on the record. I have a lot of residents who will say, this is a cash grab by the city. And just wanted to ask a clarifying question. Does the treasurer's office make money off of enforcing these parking districts?
So, the purpose of enforcing the parking districts, right, is to really protect the residents and have them be able to park where they live. Of course, we make money off of tickets. However, we have spent thousands of dollars on this particular system. We are charging $40 right now, and we've devoted a worker. We have an employee that this is all he does. So we've definitely spent more money on getting this system up and going than we have on writing tickets.
Sure, I believe that. Okay, well, I don't have any further questions unless any members of my committee do. Seeing none, is there any public comment or written comment on this bill, Madam Clerk?
We have none.
Okay. Seeing no further questions from the committee, Vice Chair Browning, you're recognized to close.
Thank you. Well, I just want to say a big thank you to my assistant, Caitlin Smith, for working so hard on this. This was several months of effort, not only digging up all the old ordinances, but communicating with the treasurer's office to make sure that we got language exactly right. It's these small administrative things that, don't seem like that big of a deal, but they really have an impact on the lives live on these blocks. And so I really appreciate the care and the thought that went into this. And just, she deserves her kudos. So I ask for your favorable consideration, and thank you for your time.
I'm only voting for this because of Caitlin, so. Okay, so with that, I will entertain a motion to pass Board Bill 121 with a due pass
So moved.
recommendation.
Second.
Previous roll?
It's been moved by the Alderman from the 5th, seconded by the Alderman from the 6th. There's been a call for previous roll. Any discussion? Any objection to previous roll? Hearing none, we have passed Board Bill 121 with a due pass recommendation. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. We'll move on now to Board Bill number 87. Alderman Aldridge, you're recognized.
Thank you, not Madam Clerk. Thank you, Madam Chairwoman and members of the committee. I would like to introduce Board Bill 87, which is a two-way stop sign that will be located at 17th Street or North 17th Street and Locust on the east and west side. It has been several kind of accidents going at this intersection, and just trying to use stop signs as a measure to hopefully avoid any of those or try to avoid more accidents happening there. And with that, I will close for any questions.
Thank you. We'll go through the committee with questions. Alderman Vollmer.
No questions.
Alderwoman Velasquez.
No questions.
Alderman Keys is still not here, correct? Okay. Vice Chair Browning.
No questions. I just wanted to note that as we've emailed all the alders, we do have a bill that we'll be introducing next week that will change the process for stop signs and speed humps and other traffic calming measures substantially. And we're really looking forward to that, so that maybe these board bills will one day be a thing of the past. Hope this solves your problem, Alderman, and happy to support.
Thank you. Is there any public testimony or written comment on this bill?
We have none.
Okay. Alderman Aldridge, you're recognized to close.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman and members of the committee. Also look forward to having a conversation with Alderman Browning about his legislation on what he mentioned. But with that, I would ask for a due pass recommendation on Board Bill 87.
Thank you. I will accept a motion for a due pass recommendation of Board Bill 87.
So moved.
Second.
Previous roll.
It's been moved by the Alderman from the 5th, seconded by the Alderman from the 9th. There's been a call for previous roll. Any discussion? Any objection to previous roll? Hearing none, we have passed Board Bill 87 with a due pass recommendation. Moving on to Board Bill number 123, introduced by Alderman Aldridge. You may continue, Alderman.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Board Bill 123 on that same street, but further going west at Locust and 22nd Street, looking to implement four-way stop signs at this intersection, again, to try to slow down the traffic right there off Locust, because there are pretty much no stop signs from 14th and Locust going all the way up to maybe 18th, where there's a red light, and then it continues to flow very fastly. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Any public comment or written testimony on this?
No questions.
Madam Clerk? Skipping ahead, Alderman. Madam Clerk, any public comment or written testimony?
We have none.
Thank you. Alderman Vollmer, we'll skip you because you've already
I have
expressed yourself.
questions.
Oh, you've Alderman Vollmer, please proceed.
Questions.
Okay. Alderman Velasquez.
No questions.
Vice Chair Browning.
No questions.
Okay. I also have no questions. Alderman Aldridge, you're recognized to close.
Thank you, Madam Clerk, or thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. When I was thinking Madam Clerk, I was thinking of Alderman Vollmer, but with that, I would just ask for a due pass recommendation for Board Bill 123.
So moved.
Second.
Previous roll.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor for a due pass recommendation of Board Bill 123 by Alderman from the 5th. There's been a second from, did you second it? Alderman from the 9th, and a call for previous roll from Alderman from the 6th. Any discussion? Any objection to previous roll? Hearing none, we have passed Board Bill number 123 with a due pass recommendation. Thank you, Alderman Aldridge.
Thank you.
We'll dispense with line items 5 and 6. We don't have any resolutions review or committee discussions. Item 7, we have no written testimony. Any announcements? Vice Chair Browning made his announcement about his bill. Looking forward to seeing that on the floor next week. Excuse members. We'll excuse Alderwoman Keys for necessary absence. And with that, I will accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
That's you guys. You got a second?
So moved.
You guys say second.
Second.
Okay. Yep, I know you did. So Alderman from the 6th has moved to adjourn. We've had a second from the 9th. Any call for previous roll?
Previous roll.
So I'm going to call from previous roll from the Alderman from the 6th. Any discussion? Any objection? Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you.